Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Alex. Dad's in the room, so unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to go in the film room and actually film a YouTube video. So, today is going to be a question that people have asked me for 14 years, and I couldn't really give them a logical answer. And by the way, I'm giving you one video, but I'm going to put it on two YouTube channels until I'm finished with the dentist. I got to get a cap put in my mouth, and then I get to have 2 to 3 weeks of no dentist, and then I can make as many YouTube videos on YouTube and on Minds.com for at least for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So I apologize if my appearance is a bit altered, and it's going to be altered again tomorrow because in order to get my teeth fixed, you're going to have that frustrating period where you have to keep having your appearance altered until your teeth is fixed and finished. So it's never ending. 2 to 3 weeks break is what you can hold the most for. It's not why you're watching my YouTube channel. It's not what you want to hear me talk about. This one's going to be asking the old age question. We are fast approaching the basketball season. The preseason starts tomorrow, and we're going to have at least 2 to 3 weeks of preseason basketball. And then somewhere around Christmas or the week after Christmas, it'll be the official return of the NBA season. 72 games a basketball season. That's better than 82. My dad said it should make it at least 52, 62, but 72 games. That's a lot of basketball, but still it's better than sitting at home, not having nothing to watch on television. This is going to ask the old age question. I'm going to break this into two videos because just to make it one video ain't that easy. It ain't that simple to just make it in one video and it's over. This is going to be asking the billion-dollar question, who's the better basketball player in their primes? LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, part 1. When you bring up these two legends, these two icons, these two greats in their primes, okay? On paper, they look great. Let's start off with LeBron James first. Most of us know his history. LeBron James played, basketball in high school. He won 3 championships. He won 3 championships in city, and then he won a state championship. And he was great in both sports. He played basketball and football when he was in high school. LeBron James was so great that he skipped college and went straight into the NBA just like Kobe Bryant. And he was selected number 1 in the 2003 or 2004 NBA draft. He was picked at number 1, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, at that point, he hadn't gotten to his prime yet. I want to say between 2007, maybe 2008, early 2009 to 2010, around there, LeBron was starting to get into his prime. But it wasn't until he made that legendary thing called the decision that made a lot of people angry and upset that's when LeBron James got into his prime. That's when LeBron James teamed up with Chris Bosh, Marius Chambers, and especially Dwayne Wade, and they went to 4 NBA finals, and he won 2 championships and 4 NBA finals. Now, a lot of us felt that LeBron James should have stayed in Miami. He probably would have won 3 championships in 6 years. Had he stayed for 2 more seasons, he would have won more championships. And then he goes back to Cleveland, and he wins an NBA championship after he loses against the Golden State Warriors. And then a year later, he beats the Warriors, and then he loses to the Warriors again. At that point, LeBron James had went to like 6, maybe 7 straight finals in a row. And it was unheard of at the time for an athlete in professional basketball to go to the NBA finals 6, 7 times in a row and go there that many times. Not just to win the championship, but to go that many times. Most teams in sports, when you look at basketball, football, and baseball, they usually don't go that many times. The only team we know that went to like 4 championships in a row and never won them was the New York Buffalo Bills, if you know your football history very well. But to be a basketball player And to be on not one, not two, but three teams and keep going to the finals and then win a championship on all three of those teams, that's never been unheard of either. Like, we know Robert Horry won like 7 NBA championships on 3 basketball teams. We know Robert Horry won 2 championships with the Houston Rockets when they won back to back 1994 95. Then he goes with the Lakers. He wins 3 championships, and Robert Horry gets 5 rings. But then Robert Horry turns around and wins 2 championships with the Spurs and gets 7 championships. So Robert Horry would be on 3 basketball teams and win 7 championships. And here comes LeBron James less than 10 to 12 years later. And every team LeBron James has been on, he wins a championship the second or third season. So it's unheard of what he's doing. LeBron James is doing what they call history in the making. Now, every time he wins a championship, he always gets NBA Finals MVP. He got the All-Star MVP 3 times. LeBron James has scored 20, 30, 40, 50 points. He's even scored 60 once in his career. And LeBron James has scored a lot of those points in the playoffs, not just in the season. Now, some people are going to say that LeBron James played 17 years of professional basketball, and the reality is it didn't take Michael Jordan as half as long to win a total of 4 championships. So LeBron's first title reign, everybody would dismiss because he won in Miami. He won back-to-back championships in Miami, and again, people dismissed him. They still, and you know what I mean, they dismissed them championships. But then he wins one in Cleveland, they give him credit. He goes to LA, he gets a whole lot of credit for the one in LA. So he won 4 championships on 3 different NBA teams and makes history. Now, the one astronaut that LeBron James get is it took you 17 years to win 4 championships, and approaching the preseason and the NBA season, the door's wide open for LeBron to win championship number 5 and be up there with legends and greats like Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, who have won 5 apiece, and LeBron James has a chance to submit his basketball legacy of winning 5 NBA championships. Now, the question is, if he wins 5 and tries to win back-to-back, can he actually win 6? I don't know if LeBron wants to play another 3, 4, 5 seasons in the NBA in the attempt to make himself the GOAT, because that's the billion-dollar question that everybody's asking. Now, on the other hand, we have Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player to ever play the game of basketball. The guy's won 6 NBA championships, 2 three-peats, undefeated in the NBA Finals, and never went to a Game 7 in his whole entire career. Every time Michael Jordan's won a championship, he's won NBA MVP, NBA Finals MVP, and the guy scores 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 points a night like that. And the guy has been in the playoffs. Every time he's gone, Michael has won, no matter who it was. You know, he's had classic matchups against Reggie Miller and the Indiana Pacers. He played against Sean Kemp, Gary Payton in the Seattle Supersonics. Now they're called the Thunder. He went against Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns, Clyde Drexler and Portland Trailblazers, Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz twice. And the guy is the only athlete that can retire, come back, and win 3 more championships. And as great as Michael Jordan was, Michael could have easily won not necessarily 6. Some people believe Michael could have won 7 or 8 NBA championships. That's how great Michael Jordan was. He could have easily won 7 or 8 NBA championships. Now you fast forward 20 plus years later, and even Michael admits that he could have won 7 or 8 NBA championships had he not retired in 1998-1999 NBA season. The best basketball team to have a record of 72 wins and 10 losses, and then that record would stand for like almost 20 years before it would be broken by the Golden State Warriors. And they're still in first place because the year that LeBron James won a championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State lost. So Michael and the Chicago Bulls stay and remain at number 1 of first NBA team in history if the second or third team in history to get 72 wins and 10 losses. And the fact that Michael's won an Olympic gold medal, he's been inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame, College Hall of Fame, High School Hall of Fame. Now he's a franchise owner. And the fact that Michael Jordan is considered arguably the best. He has his own shoes, his own clothes. Everybody likes Michael Jordan. It's 25 years later, and everyone is still saying, even after all the time that he played, whether it was his first championship, second championship, third championship, fourth championship, fifth or sixth championship, he still is considered the greatest basketball player to ever play the game of basketball. I've had the privilege and the honor to see Michael play basketball in the 1980s. All of the 1980s, I seen Michael Jordan play. You know, he came in the 1985 or 1986 NBA draft. We all know the story. Michael was passed over first round. You know, they chose Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan. We know the story. And he didn't go to Portland. He got sent to Chicago. And like Michael Jordan told you, Chicago embraced him. And Michael had classic matchups. I mean, you want to talk about real, true basketball, old school rivalries in the NBA? Michael versus Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks, the stuff of legends. Michael versus Portland Trailblazers. You know, Michael versus the Miami Heats, you know, and those guys. And Indiana Pacers with Reggie Miller, you know, and the Lakers. And the fact that Michael got to play Larry Bird and score 60-plus points as a rookie. What basketball player you know can score 60-plus points against somebody like Larry Legend? Larry Legend. And then to turn around and play against, you know, the bad boy Pistons. And then to have one of the best centers on your team, Dennis Rodman. So Michael, after 25 years, he's the only basketball player who's got 5 to 6 books, 15, 20 documentaries about him. And to this day, people still take a basketball and go outside and try to slam dunk like Michael Jordan, try to cross over people like Michael Jordan. People even go to the barbershop and get the same hairstyle as Michael Jordan. And it's 25, 30 years later, and people are going to say 99.99% Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James. Now keep in mind, both players have came in different periods. Michael came in the 80s and the 90s and played what people consider real basketball. Some people feel like that the LeBron James is the best player right now. There is nobody right now that's on the level of LeBron James with the exception of Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant and other athletes in the NBA. And to me, this is only part one of the video. Now, I'm going to put this on both channels. I'm going to put this on my first YouTube channel, and then I'm going to put it on my current sports channel, and then maybe Sunday, because I want to make it at least 2 days after I go to the dentist, I drop part 2 of the video and give you LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, part 2, who's better in their primes. We're talking about in their primes. I know some people are going to say compare them as rookies. See, LeBron as a rookie, you hear some people say it took LeBron James 3 to 4 years to learn how to shoot, how to be a good perimeter shooter. The minute Michael Jordan came into the NBA, he was already a good perimeter shooter. The thing was, Michael was good on offense, and Michael's defense got better once Phil Jackson came along. LeBron was good on offense, but LeBron's defense was because it improved once he got to Miami. So there are similarities in the two. Michael would always come out of the East. LeBron would come out of the East, but had trouble getting to the NBA Finals. Michael would come out of the East and go to the NBA Finals and win. So this is only part 1 of the video. I will put this on both channels, and 2 days later, after I'm finished with the dentist, I will come back and give you part 2 of my analysis of who's better, LeBron James or Michael Jordan. So this is part 1. Part 2 will come in 2 days. So I'm going to upload this on the 2 channels. It doesn't matter which one you watch. It's because the NBA season's around the corner. And once it's 3-4 weeks is over, the return of the NBA is coming back. This might launch into a new series. I got to see how well received this video is. Until next time, peace.